Hello, welcome to Oxford Heirlooms. Well, I've got my pattern pieces cut out. I've got my long or 3/4 length puffy sleeve. I have not cut out my sleeve cut yet, but I have the pattern piece telling me how long to cut my entre-deux beading. I've got my back piece of the day gown and the front piece of the day gown. Now, before I transfer some pattern markings, I did want to make one little mention. When I got this pattern piece out here and counted, it only has 7 buttonholes shown on the pattern. But the pattern itself, if you look at it, going over here to the Jennifer, it does actually call for 11 buttons. And that may be a typo. I'm not really sure. Okay, now I need to transfer some pattern markings, so I'm going to use my water-soluble blue pen, and I'm going to make at the back, we're going to have a pleat in the very back of the gown. So I'm going to make a mark at the bottom and at the top of the pleat. See if that got on there. Yeah, it did. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and mark my buttonholes real quickly. Okay, and then I'm going to mark the bottom and tops of my tucks up here on the front. Mark the tops. Okay, all right. I'm also going to mark the fold line that goes down the front of the garment, both at the top and at the bottom of the day gown. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to take the pins off of the pattern pieces, and using my friction erasable pen, I'm going to draw a couple of lines for where the pleats need to be. Okay, so I've got my little drafting triangle, and I will simply line this up and draw a little line where I need to sew. Doesn't have to be very dark, just enough so that you can see it. I'm going to set my pattern piece off to the side. Okay, and then what I'll do is I have decided that my hand embroidery design will be this little bit of hand embroidery that comes in the pattern Hand Sewing 1. Now I've gone ahead and marked above and below where the buttonholes need to go so that the little design will be centered in between the buttonholes. And using my friction erasable pen, I will transfer those pattern markings. I will iron my fabric before I start working with it also, because I did not do that ahead of time. Okay, so let me finish doing some pattern markings and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have transferred all of the pattern markings that I need to transfer. I've got the pleats where I'll fold them, and I will draw or poke my needle down into the blue dot. Okay, I also, if you'll notice, I have the embroidery, the hand embroidery drawn in here where the garment is going to button left front over left or right front. It's just the way I prefer. It works a little bit better. Okay, all right, so I have some hand embroidery to do. And then I will be back when it's time for me to make these tucks, because before I can draw the hand embroidery in between these two tucks, there's a little bit more space in between these center two tucks than between the outer tucks, but I need to sew the tucks in first before I can dry the hand embroidery and get that done. But I'll be back. Thank you.